After 2 Pac-12 series on the road and a midweek matchup against Cal State Fullerton, baseball in the Conference of Champions has finally returned here to Phoenix Municipal Stadium. Alongside Blaine McCormick, I'm Josh Schaefer, and thank you so much for joining us here on Friday night on Pac-12+. Tonight, the struggling Arizona State Sun Devils will host the Trojans of the University of Southern California. And Blaine, it really seems like this series is going to be one of those series where with both teams hovering around 500, this is a series that can be crucial in terms of the way Pac-12 play will develop throughout the remaining parts of the season.
It's no joke. Both of these teams are struggling in Pac-12 play, like you mentioned, Josh. But one guy who is not struggling is Spencer Torkelson for the Sun Devils. Already 14 home runs on the season for him. Already broken a record of Greg Bonds as a freshman home run record. That was 11. Now Spencer's just shattered that. He's going to be one of those guys that the Sun Devils are really going to look to early in this game. He's batting second today. A table setter is the nickname for these guys at the top of the lineup. That's what he does, set the table.
Tonight will be the first time that the Sun Devils have hosted a fireworks night here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium in the Valley of the Sun. However, with a player like Torkelson in the lineup, it seems like fireworks are almost inevitable here for ASU. The freshman slugger for the Devils will be opposed by yet another freshman slinger for the USC Trojans, the right-hander Kyle Hurt, getting the start tonight for the USC Trojans, a player that already in his freshman season has already slid into the Friday night starter role.
And like his name, he can bring the hurt to the opponents that are in the batter's box for him. 36 strikeouts for him on the year coming into this game. Also has a 2.60 ERA. He's one of those guys that can just command the zone efficiently, locate his pitches really well on the black. And he's just one of those guys that's really going to be a struggle for the Sun Devils to have to come out of. But those Friday starters are always tough for anyone in the Pac-12.
Top of the order for Arizona State here in the bottom of the third. Gage Canning 0 for 1 today, as he will come to the plate to get things started here in the bottom of the third. First pitch swinging, crushed, deep right field. Forget about it. Gage Canning, you are ridiculous. Oh my. He keeps saying, and I keep bringing this up on Pac-12 broadcasts, Gage Canning keeps saying, you know, I wanted to see more pitches. I wanted to be more patient at the plate. He doesn't need it. He swings at the first pitch he sees and crushes it to the national championship board in deep right center. And the Sun Devils lead it 2-0.
Well, my goodness, is there anything this guy can't do? He's the leader in triples in the NCAA with 9, and that's his 4th home run on the season.
And only 3 of them have been hit over the wall.
Exactly, and this is incredible. Like just a swing and a drive over to the scoreboard here at Phoenix Municipal Stadium and bounces right off of that. That man has been hitting the weight room lately, and that shows it.
And here comes Spencer Torkelson. Talk about home runs, as he is 1 away from claiming sole possession of the NC2A lead. 0-1 the count to the ASU freshman first baseman, as Hurt delivers, finding the outside corner quickly. 0-2 to Torkelson. So 2 nice bounce back pitches after hanging that last pitch right over the plate for Canning to crush. Torkelson tied for the NCAA lead and leads the team with 14 home runs. 28 runs batted in. The 0-2, fastball missing high and outside for the first ball of the at-bat, 1-2.
This top of the order for the Sun Devils has got to be something that Sun Devil faithful have really just been surprised by, because you get a guy like Gage Canning, the NCAA leader in triples, and now a home run hitter as of recently. And then you get Spencer Torkelson, who is just phenomenal in his freshman season. 14 home runs on the year for him. And then you got Lyle Lynn, who can do a little mix here, a mix there with so many doubles, so many triples, or so many home runs, excuse me. But this top of the lineup is something that Sun Devil fans have got to be excited about.
Torkelson fouls off the 2-2. Count will remain 2-2 with nobody on and nobody out. Offense really hasn't been the problem for ASU this year, outscoring their opponents 155 to 145. 22 home runs compared to allowing just 12.
Yeah, the efficiency at the plate for the Sun Devils has been great, like you mentioned, Josh, and the reason for it is that man right there.
Torkelson's 2-2, pops it up right to second base. Underneath it is Perez for out number 1.
And in your freshman season, you're going to have at-bats like that. You see a bunch of pitches that you like and some that you don't like and some that you just have to spoil off like that. And for that, that's still a well-struck ball. And for Spencer Torkelson to put a swing on that, that thing must have been, what, a mile high up in the air? And it came down over to second base, and you just see the raw power that this guy has and the raw muscle that he has, and he's going to be something for scouts to really look out for.
Here's Lyle Lynn. He's got some power, too. Takes the first pitch, a breaking ball in there for strike 1. Flied out to right field in his first at-bat, and this thing, it didn't seem like it at first, but this thing almost got out of the park, too. 345. The warning track in deep right. Big swing and a miss from Lyle Lynn. And we've talked about this all season long, is that probably could have been a home run at another ballpark in his last at-bat. 345 in the corners here at Muni, 390 in the gaps, 410 to dead center. And for ASU, they will be moving in the fences next year, so expect even more home runs. The 0-2 to Lynn just gets a piece of it, slices it towards associate head coach and third base coach Ben Greenspan, who flips it all the way back across the infield towards the Devils' dugout. 0-2 the count to the catcher Lyle Lynn.
And, you know, we talk about the home runs from Spencer Torkelson and now recently Gage Canning, but for Lyle Lynn, he's one of those guys that can present a lot of opportunities for you, a wide open stance, and one of those athletic builds that you love to see in a baseball player. And for him, it's all about working the count and boosting his average and really putting the swing on those balls that you can get for extra base hits, because with the stat line coming into this game, he had a .443 slugging percentage. That's something you look at and you're just like, wow, that guy can do what?
1 ball and 2 strikes as he took the 0-2 up high. Here's Hertz 1-2, getting a piece of it, slicing it towards Bouchard at short. Long throw to first in time. A 6-3 put out for out number 2. That brings Alika Williams to the plate.
You know, Josh, we talked on this earlier about Alika Williams moving into the 4 spot, but I want to touch on it a little bit more. It's kind of an interesting move from head coach Tracy Smith, because Alika batting .297 coming into this contest and having the 27 hits that are to his name, putting him at the 4 spot. You don't see a lot of second basemen being in that position. The only one I can think of off the top of my head in the majors would be Robinson Cano, but even Cano moves into the 3 or the 2 spot pretty frequently.
First pitch from Hurt, threw it in the dirt, 1-0. But yeah, I mean, this is like Alika Williams. Yes, that .297 average has definitely stood out, especially over the past couple weeks, raising it. 11 RBIs, a couple stolen bases, but so far we haven't seen a whole lot of power from Alika. So that's what's interesting about having him in the 4 spot. But of course, Tracy Smith, you know, if this kid's hitting, he's going to move him up in the lineup. And I kind of like, we haven't seen it play out yet, but in certain situations, this could work to perfection. The 1-0. Breaking ball finds the strike zone. Count will even at 1 apiece with 2 away and nobody on base for the Devils.
And, you know, with the build of Alika Williams, you're not going to see too many home runs from him, but you are going to see those doubles that are placed perfectly in the gaps, as we see a healthy hack from him there. And, you know, for him, it's just the location of his swings and everything. If you get one down the line, the speed that he presents as well. For a second baseman like him, I remember being in his position in high school. You want to get those singles, but you can create those to be doubles with the wheels that you have.
The 1-2 from Kyle Hurt. Williams takes outside. Alika draws a 2-2 count.
And, you know, with his plate discipline, he's got 8 walks on the season coming into today and also 10 strikeouts on the year. So that strikeout to walk percentage is pretty good and in his favor.
Williams calls time. Kyle Hurt was taking his. Here's the 2-2. Comebacker up the middle, snagged by Kyle Hurt. Nice play by the freshman righty. Flips it over to first for out number 3. The Sun Devils score 1 run on 1 hit. A towering home run for Gage Canning. His 4th of the season gives the Devils a 2-run lead here in Phoenix.
5-2 Quinnipiac here in Glendale. 13:57 to go in the 3rd period, and a face-off coming up to the right. of the 6'4", 186 Anchorage, Alaska native, the goaltender Andrew Shortridge for the Bobcats. Josh Schaefer alongside Matt Berner, and it has pretty much been all Quinnipiac tonight, despite a few nice scoring chances for the Devils. Not much for either team here in the third. Quinnipiac wins the draw. They work it out left wing side. Coming back the other way is Bo Pieper, the senior forward. Pieper sends it in deep. Sun Devils pick up, trying to work right wing side out to center ice where Lappin takes it. Sends it all the way across the ice. Here comes David Norris. Norris is knocked down to the ice. No call from the official as Bush plays it behind the Quinnipiac net, but had it taken away from him by Bo Pieper. They work it out left wing side in front of the Quinnipiac bench. Now centering for Kevin McKernan, who backhands it into the ASU zone where Jacob Wilson, the freshman, will track it down. Drops it back for his sophomore defensive counterpart, Brinson Pashnik. Works it right wing side in front of the ASU bench as stick handling into his own teammate was David Norris. Worked it out for Brinson Pashnik, who was knocked down at center ice. Fresh legs onto the ice. Here comes Logan Mick with a backhand right into the chest of Rylan Pashevitz, and a whistle with 13:07 to go.
You know, with brief moments of control for the Devils, other than those, this game has been completely Bobcats.
Yep.
Quinnipiac has dominated basically from start to finish with a few minor lapses. And that's one way to win yourself a hockey game.
Well, that last backhanded chance by Logan Mick was the first shot of the period for Quinnipiac, which goes to show that these last, 6 or 7 minutes have probably been the best of the game for Arizona State despite no goals. Shots 36-16 in favor of Quinnipiac. 12:45 to go here in the period. Puck left wing corner. Dropping it back down into the corner behind the net is Davidson. Getting the pass from the freshman Devin Moore. Davidson left wing circle. Hands off at the point. A shot from John Fergelli was blocked down behind the net, and a huge hit just behind Rylan Pashevitz. Working it out in front for Logan Mick. Appeared to be Brogan Rafferty, but the puck would not go. Now getting knocked down in the corner was Gavito Janssens. Drops back Mick. A shot that's blocked and taken away by Jake Clifford. Clifford works left wing side. Dominic Garcia, he has a goal tonight. Takes a huge hit from Brogan Rafferty at the near boards. Behind the net, ASU looking to retaliate a little bit as Jacob Stridesberg went after somebody, or Steen Pashnik rather. Here comes Quinnipiac back the other way as Dominic Garcia slow to get up. Brogan Rafferty now takes a big hit. He had that one coming. Behind the net is Tanner McMaster going at it with one of the ASU defensemen. And I'm not sure if Dominic Garcia is in pain. I think he lost it.
He lost an edge.
I think he lost his skate blade, yeah.
Yep.
He took a big hit from Brogan Rafferty, and he got hit so hard into the near boards just inside the Quinnipiac defensive zone that he lost a skate blade and is being helped off the ice by Liam McGing.
And there goes the head referee carrying the skate blade over towards the bench. I noticed that it was kind of interesting that it looked like he couldn't get his footing in that right foot. He tried to stand up 4 or 5 times before successfully doing so. And even when he did, he couldn't skate off. He just ended up going a couple feet and then laying down.
That might have been the first time in an ASU game this season where I've seen that happen. And it wasn't that, he went down awkwardly or anything like that. It's just he got checked so hard, his skate blade fell off.
It was a pretty big hit from Rafferty.
Face off to the right of Rylan Pashevitz, won by the Devils. Puck creams to the near boards, out to center ice. Backtracking into his own end is Brandon Fortunato, the junior transfer from Boston University, who the Devils will see next weekend. A quick snapshot gloved down by Shortridge. Walker was there for the rebound, but there was none. And a whistle with 11:34 to go in the third.
Well, the Devils picking up the tempo a little bit. It might be too little too late at this point because there are only 11 minutes and 34 seconds remaining in this one. And they've got a 3-goal deficit to make up for, but crazier things have happened, Josh.
The Devils typically allow their opponents to have 36.5 shots on goal per game, and that is right on the money tonight. 36 shots for the Bobcats. Devils win the draw. Here's Johnny Walker, left wing corner. He got knocked down in the near corner. ASU wanted a penalty as Walker was checked from behind, and it looks like we will get a penalty, and now there's a scrap in the left wing corner. Devils need to be careful because they're about to go back on the power play. Don't want to do anything to risk that. It looks like we're going to be getting a penalty to Quinnipiac for boarding as Johnny Walker was checked right in the numbers into the boards. and it appears to be Scott Davidson who will go off.
Well, Anthony Croston and Shiplow looked like the two that were battling in the corner. A little chippiness. They were both shoving each other's heads backwards. It almost looked like the only thing that was keeping each other up were each other, despite the fact that they were both trying to knock the other down.
We're looking at the replay on the video board, and that was a clear-cut boarding penalty on Scott Davidson. He had a chance to steer away from Walker in the corner, but instead he came in and hit him right in the numbers, and Walker just kind of fell right into the boards head first. They clear off the draw all the way back behind Ryland Pashevitz, who play it for the Devils, as Brinson Pasechnik quarterbacks pretty much every power play for the Devils as he skates out to center ice. ASU's power play has been lackluster at best this season. They do have 4 goals in their last 20 power play chances. Send it into the Quinnipiac zone behind the net. Chuksta tried to get a stick on it and clear it. He could not. Good effort by the Devils to keep it in. Now a one-timer from the point, steered aside into the near corner. Devils trying to keep it alive. Brett Gruber just outside the left wing face-off circle. A little bit of a scrum in the near corner. Devils fighting for the puck. And they clear it out to center ice very quickly after the scrum. Brinson Pasechnik couldn't get a stick on it. Here we are to the final minute of the penalty, and Pasechnik whacked it aside. As are the Devils going to get a penalty here? Or are they just going to say that it was knocked down with a high stick? I think that's what they're saying. I think the Devils knocked it down with a high stick, so Pasechnik was a little frustrated when he went to touch up. He just smacked the puck into the glass.
Yeah, definitely frustration there from Pasechnik, and I really can't blame him. It's been a rough day for the Sun Devils, especially defensively.
The Devils are in one of their best stretches of the season at 4-4-2, which isn't great, but it's been pretty good for a team that plays a lot of top-tier Division I talent. They've only lost 1 of their last 5 games, but that does include a couple of ties. Final 40 seconds of the penalty to Scott Davidson, which the Bobcats will eat up most of that in their own zone before whacking it the length of the ice. Here come the Devils back the other way. Here is Johnny Walker entering the offensive zone, had it knocked away from him and cleared back into the ASU zone. The Bobcats entered tonight's game with the 10th best penalty kill in all of Division I hockey. ASU's power play, 57th at 11.5%. Walker enters the zone trying to dangle past the defender, and once again it's cleared out to center ice, which will do away with the final 5 seconds of the penalty to Scott Davidson.
Well, Josh, you mentioned that, but coming into today's game, Arizona State had the 11th best penalty kill, and they've given up 3 goals on 4 attempts.
ASU can't keep the puck into the offensive zone, as it just seems like nothing has been going the way of the Devils tonight. Final 9 minutes of the game, 5-2 Quinnipiac, as the Bobcats have successfully killed off yet another ASU power play opportunity. They've only had 2 of those tonight. Near boards, Devils can't get it out of their own zone. Garcia had it knocked away from him behind the net, where Streinsberg will play it right back to Garcia on the near boards. Picked up McGing, who stick handles away from a Quinnipiac forward, that being Luke Shiplow. Or it was Shiplow, a defenseman, but was playing in a forward position as the forwards were trying to change for the Bobcats. Pashevitz plays behind his own net, but mishandling the puck appeared to be Jacob Streinsberg in the far corner. Streinsberg trying to knock it away from Nick Germain. Germain circling to the left wing boards, out into the slot. Now Kareem's all the way back around to the right wing circle. Germain sends across a one-timer from Prisky, tipped just wide to the right. ASU tracks it down and chips it out to center ice, but it deflects off the glass and into the scorer's box at center ice. And with 8 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the period, we will take a break. 5-2 Bobcats here at Glendale, as the Devils have their work cut out for them in the final 8 minutes of this one. 5-2 Bobcats here at Gila River.